Hi everyone, I'm going to talk to you more about modals and how we can use them to ask for permission or to ask requests of people. And the modals that we're going to use for this video are going to show you how to do it in a really polite way or how to do it in a more informal way, okay? So I've written down some modals over here, and these are the modals that we'll use to ask permission. And the modals over here are the ones that we'll use to ask for requests. So what's the difference? First off, permission means that you want to know if it's okay for you to do something that might bother other people. For example, if it's really hot in a room and you just want the air to flow, you can ask the other people if it's okay that you open the window. You want to make sure that it won't bother them, right? So you need to ask for permission. So you can say, may I open the window? Or could I open the window? Or can I open the window? And that's it. That's how you ask for permission, especially if it's not your room, right? If it's your room, you might do it another way. But the thing I want to point out about these modals is that we use them for many, many other things. But this video is focused specifically on how to use them to ask for permission and then later for requests. Always make sure you know that modals have lots of different meanings. Another thing you should know about modals is that they always have to have the base form of the verb after them. In these sentences, I'm actually making questions. So I need to put the base form toward the end, the other side of the sentence. So let's see. May I open the window over there? It's really hot and I just want the air to flow. May I open it? May is the modal, and then I have the subject and then the base form of the verb. As you know, with questions, we usually start with the verb. And here, modals are verbs. They are helping verbs. But then there's another part of that verb, the base form, which comes after the subject. May I open the window? And you can be more polite by adding the word please to the end or right here after the subject. May I please open the window? Or may I open the window, please? Now, may is the most formal. It's the most formal way to ask for permission. A lot of people like to use it because it's the most formal, but clearly it is not the only way to ask for permission, okay? So could and can are also possible. So you can just replace the word may here with could. Could I open the window? Could I please open the window? Could I open the window, please? Or you can say can. Can I open the window? Can I please open the window? Can I open the window, please? All three of these ways are perfectly fine for asking for permission. May is the most formal, but a lot of the time, your formality and the level of how polite you sound comes through the tone you use anyway, and the body language and the eye contact and all these things, right, that are, culturally bound, right? But we usually can show a polite tone through our tone of voice and not just with the modals, okay? But yes, it helps to know that these do have a little bit of a difference, but add the word please and it's always polite. Okay, so what's a request? A request is when we ask someone to help us with something. Like, okay, it's hot, I'm opening up the window, but I can't open it. It's stuck. Could you help me open it up? Can you help me open it up? Would you help me open it up? Will you help me open it up? These are the modals that we use to ask for polite requests. So, as I said, we can say, could you help me open the window? I know it's a bother. I don't want to bother you, but I need help. So I'm asking if you could help me. Could you help me open the window? You can also use the word will. Will you help me open the window? Now be careful with this one, because if you say it the wrong way, it's gonna sound rude, okay? Like, will you help me open the window? Be careful. You can always use your tone of voice to sound more polite. You can always add the word please, right? Will you please help me open the window? Or will you help me open the window? Please. Okay, so we've used could, we've used will. Now let's look at can. Can you help me open the window? Please. Can you help me open it? Please. Can is perfectly fine for asking for requests of people. And then finally, the most formal is would. Actually, yeah, it is known as the most polite and the most formal, but it's actually also the most common, I would say. Would you help me open the window, please? Would you help me out, please? So would is actually really common here, okay? Now, I want to say something about the word would. We have a few different ways to use would to ask requests. So let's look at those different ways. Okay, so for the first one, we have would you mind if, okay? Would you mind if? Would you mind if, okay? Here, I'm using the subject I after it. Would you mind if I? So I'm gonna do something and I wanna know if it's going to bother you. So I would like to open the window because it's hot in here. So would you mind if I, and then here, you need to use the past tense of whatever verb you use. Would you mind if I open the window? Would you mind if I borrowed your pencil for a second? Would you mind if I closed the door? So this is actually asking for permission, but I'm using would you mind if plus a subject plus the past tense of any verb. That's what you need over here, okay, for asking permission. Here, would you mind? Now notice the subject I is not in here. The focus is on you. Would you? So I'm asking you to do something and I want to be extra polite. So I'm going to ask for a request from you, but I'm going to say, would you mind helping me open the window? Would you mind opening the window? I'm not going to do it. I need help and I need you to do it for me, right? So here, would you mind helping me? Okay, notice what I'm doing here is I'm using a gerund. If you haven't studied gerunds, we have videos on them, but a gerund is basically any verb plus ing. It's two parts. It's a verb plus ing, but it does not act like a verb. It's actually a noun. So, would you mind helping me? Would you mind opening the door? Would you mind closing the door? And that is a nice way to ask for a request. Okay, so how do you respond to all of these different ways of permission and requests and things like that? Well, let's start with these. Would you mind if I open the door? Okay, I don't mind. That means go ahead and do it because it will not bother me. So if someone says, would you mind if I open the door? And I don't care, I say, no, not at all. That means no, I don't mind. So nah, not at all, not at all, go ahead. Here, would you mind helping me? No, I don't mind. That means I will help you. Okay, so just be careful with these two because if you ask them and someone says, no, not at all, they're actually saying that they are not bothered and that they will help you. They can also just say, yeah, that's fine, and do it. But this one's a little tricky, so just be careful. And when someone asks you a favor, right, or a request, you can say, yeah, no, I don't mind. No, not at all. Not at all. Now, for the other ones, like, would you open the door? Could you open the door? A response to that is, of course, or sure, or certainly, or yeah, I'll do it for sure. Could I open the window? Can I open the window? May I open the window? That one, someone might say to me, yeah, sure, absolutely, of course, no problem, go ahead. That's how you say yes. If you want to say no to any of those, we usually don't just say no, or no, you can't. We usually say, no, I'm sorry. We give a reason, like, no, I'm sorry, I'm really hot, or I'm really cold. If you open it, I'm going to get too cold. Or no, I'm sorry, we're not allowed to open that, or something. We don't just say no, we usually say no and then give a reason. That's just looking at corpus linguistics. That's just how it is. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but that's how it usually is done, okay? Okay, and that's it. So I hope that this has helped you and that you can go ahead and ask some polite requests and ask for permission politely. Bye-bye.